light on a very sensitive topic. Is much more related to individuals. It has nothing to do with skills. It has the ability to do with personality, which is the very psychology of trading. Trading is essentially, I mean, buying and selling of an asset, and it comes with so many risk involved. And I think one of the most sensitive topics that we often tend to neglect is the very psychology of trading, which every trader who is very sensitive or very attentive or conscious about him or herself needs to give much credence to the psychology of it, because I've realized that most people end up making a winning trade look like a losing trade. And it's all because of, I don't want to use the word greed, because there's nothing immoral about greed. We are all greedy to some extent. I mean, we all want the good things in life, and sometimes the joy of winning, it leads to you losing sight of your strategies. And especially in trading, you do have to realize it's an up and down movement. The direction can change whilst you are winning, and what looks to be a bullish trend might end up being a bearish trend. So evidently, if you applied a longing strategy and the market turned down on you, you do realize that the longing strategy is probably going to it's not really going to work, because the market has changed its direction. And it is a very common pattern of trading. The market doesn't stay the same way. It goes up and down, then consolidates, then takes shapes again, goes up and down. But the mind is a very sometimes the mind has the way of turning itself against you when you are winning, because the joy of winning more or less might lead you in forgetting about your strategies, and you might end up losing. And most people might think that trading is a hard thing. Now, is something, as a conscious effort that you have to understand that when you win, embrace the very fact that you won. Let's say you won a trade or two or three trades, and you made almost like $80 a day, which is a good money. You have to take that money and leave and go back. Sorry, go and rest the brain, and come back again and try and win some trades. But most times we tend to neglect the psychology or the psychological aspect of trading, because we want to win, and we want to win desperately. We want to make all the money in the world in a given day, which is not the way trading is supposed to be. It has to be consistent wins. If it's a two, three trades in a day, that's consistent wins, consistent wins, consistent wins. And you don't really have to have 10 trades in a day all winning. You can have three, four strong trades, and that's it. And just move on. Tomorrow's another day. And I feel so. I think like there's a need to address this conversation, because most people really don't want to give much credence to the psychological part of trading, because we tend to neglect that trading is about personality, and that person has to deal with this his psychological part of trading. And if you don't embrace that side, it's going to really hurt you, because I don't know, but I realize that most guys, their problem is not that they lack the very skills or the dexterity to trade, but they lack the discipline to say, okay, today is another day. Let's wrap it up. Let's move on to the next day, and make some good trades, because the market is always open, especially in cryptocurrencies. You can trade every day, but again, you don't have to turn a winning trade into a losing trade because of greed. And I said, like, there's nothing immoral about greed, but again, you have to have that discipline. Sometimes just shut the phone down, or shut the laptop down, go and take some fresh air, come back and win again. It could be the next day or two. Just relax. It's just trading is almost every day. We trading every day. It's just You don't have to end up, winning, and you end up losing it in the end. And it's like, oh, how did I lose it? Did I mess my strategy? No, you didn't mess. The market turned on you because of you are happy winning, and you forgot that the market turned down on you, and the strategy that you were using probably wasn't effective at that moment. Doesn't mean that that strategy doesn't work. It works, but it's because you lost control of yourself within a very twinkle of an eye. That's how the market does, and you need time. Just study yourself, know your strengths and weaknesses, address them, and yeah, I think it's something I really want to talk about because I feel like most people need this much more than anything. You have the skills. I mean, we can teach you guys. We can teach you how to trade. But personally, I think you need to embrace the very fact that you yourself have to work on yourself in order to be consistent trader, winning on a consistent basis. It has to be about you, not about the skills per se. You can have the good skills, but you need a discipline to win consistently. And I think I just have to end it up here because there's so much, and I do again. I have a courses in the pipeline. But I just wanted to touch on the psychological side of trading. It requires time. It takes discipline, and you have to embrace the very fact that you're not going to win every day. Sometimes you're going to lose. Sometimes you're going to win. But most times, when you're doing the things right, your strategy is right, you will win a lot. Have a nice time, people. Peace.